Yeah, the Plasmic has a funny story to it because we were making our first round of soft tops, and the foamies we were making, I had to shape a reel board, glass reel board, and we're going to use that as the mold to make the soft top out of. And so Asher had come over from Australia, and he was going to Mexico, and we were just kind of talking about him riding our boards and riding for us. And so he was just happened to be like swinging through town, and he needed a board to go take to Mexico just to try something. And because he rides such funny dimensions, I didn't even really have something on hand that would fit him, except for this 411 plug thing that was going to be the mold for the soft top. And so we sent him with this thing, and it was a unique shape because designed in and shaped in this little channel, and there's twin fin and whatever, but it was like 411, 19 and 5/8, 2 3/4, like thick, weird little pluggy board. And he took it to Mexico, and I got a text from Minnie, Dane's filmer. And he's like, I don't know what you sent Asher with, but he's ripping on this thing. And I was like, oh, that's a good sign. So anyways, came back like, oh, maybe there's something to this as a real model too. So from there we kind of played around with dimensions and stuff. But the real key to it is that it ticks the box as a fish for you. So it's like you ride it shorter and squattier. It's low rocker. You kind of ride it similar dimensions that you would ride a fish. The difference being that generally speaking, it's like a diamond, it's like a winged diamond tail, which lets you kind of, you have a little bit more area on the tail to step back on, whereas with like a fish that's a swallowtail, you can't step back all the way as much. So fishy rocker, kind of a flat deck that has this really defined plasmic channel that runs in between the fins and runs like the back third or 40% of the board out the tail, which basically it's like a glorified concave that gives the board a lot of lift and drives and funnels the water through when you're driving through turns. Generally twin fin setup, but the channel kind of works in a unique way because when you're trimming and when you're just kind of pumping down the line and you're light on your feet, it really because it creates such a deep concave, it gives this lift to the board where it feels very freed up in the back. It feels like you're accelerating like crazy, like it has this gas pedal, but it doesn't feel sticky or really sunk in the water. It feels just light, kind of nimble under your back foot. And then as soon as you drive through a turn and as soon as you press on your back foot through the fins, that same channel really funnels the water quickly through that area and kind of accelerates the water flow in between the fins and out the tail. So it almost grips way better than you'd expect for a short little squatty board, and it'll hold on rail and it'll really accelerate through the turn in a really unique way. And so you just feel like this little rocket ship under your feet, because it feels like you can just plane and glide and feel really freed up, and then it'll grip as hard as you want to grip when you're driving through a turn. Yeah, generally the fin boxes are placed pretty far back. That's what gives it the unique combo of grip and drive. Depending on the waves you're riding, generally speaking, most people ride like a decent sized upright, which really lets you pivot and bank, off the bottom. Coming out of a turn, you can kind of pivot and release out of a turn. But if you're surfing a slopier wave, you're surfing kind of a mushier wave, you can definitely ride like a semi-keel or something with more base to it. That'll give you a little bit more down the line projection and a little bit more hold if you're looking for that. Yeah, there's a lot of versatility there. It's a great board for someone who's ridden short boards and kind of into more high performance surfing, that translates really well to a fish because it gives you the benefits of a fish, but you can kind of push it in a unique way. You can kind of do dynamic turns and performance surfing on a little skateboard.